So before I start this movie review, I just want to give a big shout out to IMDb, where I get all my information and fun facts from.
Hello, Bill and Ted fans.
Keanu and Alex here.
With our new movie, Bill and Ted Face the Music, out now, we want to take a moment to say thank you.
Thank you to our amazing fans all around the world for all your support over the years and for embodying what it truly means to be excellent.
And party on. It is because of you that this movie happened, and we couldn't be prouder to have gone on this journey with all of you.
We hope that you all enjoy the movie and know that it was made for you, with you, and because of you.
Thanks for everything, Bill and Ted fans. We really do love you, and please remember to be excellent to each other.
And party on. Thank you.
What's up, everyone? Movie Maniac here with another movie review. And finally, and I do mean finally, I was able to watch this film on video on demand. And I guess you would say, yes, it is a trilogy, because it's part 3. And the movie I'm talking about is Bill and Ted Face the Music. And it stars Alex Winter, Keanu Reeves, Kristen Schaal, Samara Weaving, Brigette Lundy-Paine, Amy And it stars Alex Winter, Keanu Reeves, Kristen Schaal, Samara Weaving, Brigette Lundy-Paine, William Sadler, Hal Landon Jr., Amy Stalk, and Anthony Carrigan, who plays Dennis the Robot. And the director was Dean Pariseau, and the writers, which wrote the first 2 Bill and Ted movies, Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon. So this movie is basically about Bill and Ted find themselves as middle-aged dads still trying to crank out a hit song and fulfill their destiny. Now, first off, I watched the movie, and my thought about this film, it was good. It wasn't the greatest, but it was good. I did enjoy it. There was times where I did laugh. I got a chuckle out of it. But then there were times it was, okay. It was a little too much. It just kind of dragged a little bit. But for the most part of the movie, I did enjoy this film. It's not as great as the first Bill and Ted film. Neither is the second. I mean, I would compare this to maybe the second one. It's maybe on par with it. But the first one is always the best. And like I said, they did bring back the father, the cop, who was played by Hal Landon Jr. They brought him back. They played, and also the woman that played Missy, they brought her back. And now she's married. I can't say it because I don't want to spoil it. You'll just have to see. I laughed at that part. And they did bring back the character Deacon, but it was played by Beck Bennett. And Deacon is the younger brother of Ted from the original movie. I mean, just their characters personally, they were short. It was more like cameo appearances, but it was good for what they had to deal with. It was good. It was fun, some funny stuff, especially with Beck Bennett's part. And if you've seen this film, you know what I'm talking about. Also, you know, like I said, Alex Winter came back to play Bill, and Keanu Reeves came back to play Ted. And I would say Alex Winter, it's like he never left. He was good. Otherwise, Keanu Reeves, some parts were there, but I think he's better with the beard and makes him look younger. It looks like they make him look older, and his voice just wasn't there. And, you know, he's older now, you know, things change. So, but I think they did great jobs playing Bill and Ted, of course, the main characters. And I like how they referenced Rufus in this movie. Not a lot. There's just a tiny bit, but how they referenced him in this film, played by George Carlin in the original ones. I think that was a great tribute to him. Rest in peace, George Carlin. He played an awesome Rufus. So it was very well done, and I like what they did as a tribute to him. Also, I want to mention the ladies that played the daughters of Bill and Ted, Samara Weaving and Brigette Lundy-Paine. I think they did a good job, but I think Brigette Lundy-Paine, that played Ted's daughter, I think she did better than the other one, because I think the characteristics and the face emotions and the body language of Ted was there in her. So she did good on that. And Samara Weaving, that played Bill's daughter, I think she did well, but I think it looked more force. It was more of a forceful Bill. You know what I mean? It just, you could tell. It just wasn't relaxed. But otherwise than that, I mean, they did a decent job. And of course, we have Death, played by William Sadler. He's still good. He's still good. For what he was able to do in this film, I think it was great. Between the two characters of Bill and Ted and Death in this film, that small part, I think it was pretty funny. I was actually laughing. But I wish there was more of him in this film. But other than that, he did a great job also. And they had Kristen Schaal and Anthony Carrigan in this film. For basically, I would say, the comic relief. And Anthony Carrigan character who played the robot, it was pretty funny. It was. He just has that mentality, that sarcasm of goofiness to him. So, yeah, he did a good job of that. I was laughing at his parts. But for the film itself, I like how they brought back different characters from the past. And maybe some of those characters, I'm talking about characters as in musicians, how some of those musicians didn't know who these people were, but some of them, if they went back either further in time, they knew who they were because it's back in their time. So I don't want to get too complicated here, but I'll give you one character. They did go back and they got Mozart. Okay. Well, before that, or the scene after that, they got another character, a musician, where the musician played a flute. But none of the other characters knew, or musicians knew who they were. But besides Mozart, because Mozart in that time knew who that musician was because it was around that time period or before that. If you get my drift. I don't want to make it too confusing. So let's go on with other stuff. Also, I like how Bill and Ted goes into the future trying to get the music or steal the music from themselves. And they go in the future and they meet themselves in the future of Bill and Ted, where they're complete buttheads to make it nice. And then they go into the further future, the other further future. And like you see in the previews, when how they are in jail and they're all buffed. Well, there is a reason why for that, and they explain it. Those scenes were funny, and the house they were in, that was even better. And who was actually it belonged to, that is what makes it funny. And he does make a cameo. I'm not going to say who it is. But actually, I'm sitting there on my couch there watching the movie, and I'm thinking to myself, now how can they go into the future to get the song if it hasn't been written yet? Wouldn't the future non-exist if the song hasn't been written yet? You would think, right? That's just the way physics go and the quantum theory goes. It's weird, but I don't want to get too much into that. And also stay at the end of the credits. There is a scene. And if you notice that scene from a scene from the first movie, you'll get it. And basically, finally, before I go into the fun facts, the song that they wrote and they played at the end of the movie, it was a good song. Don't get me wrong, I was kind of nodding my head to it. But I like how everybody came together and, if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. But honestly, I don't think it was that great. I think the better song was in part 2 of the movie, and it was God Gave Rock and Roll to You, which was performed in real life by Kiss. I think that was a better song than this song was. just my own personal opinion. I know people probably hate me saying this, but I don't really care because it's my own personal opinion. But don't get me wrong, it was a good song. But it wasn't the greatest song. The song in the second movie was better than this song. And now it's time for fun facts. Samara Weaving is the niece of Hugo Weaving. Keanu and Hugo worked together on The Matrix, which came out in 1999. Alex Winter confirmed on his Twitter account on February 2nd, 2019, that Bill and Ted was officially happening. To prepare for his role as Bill, Alex Winter took acting lessons again as he was busy with his filmmaking career. Okay, now here we go as a reference to George Carlin, who played Rufus in the movie. The Kelly role is named as a way to recognize and honor George Carlin. Kelly in this film is Rufus's daughter, and in real life, George Carlin's daughter is named Kelly. Keanu Reeves shaved his beard in keeping with the tradition of Ted Logan. Thea wears a shirt very similar to one Ted wore at the end of Excellent Adventure. This was filmed in and around the New Orleans area, including Chalmette and Covington. And finally, a fake interstate was constructed in the parking lot of Chalmette sound stage for the big concert scene. And that's it, guys. That is my movie review for Bill and Ted Face the Music, which came out this year, 2020, which they promised. I'm glad I finally got to see it. But as always, smash that like button, support, share, hit that notification bell, notify my next video or vlog will be up. Also, check me out on Instagram under the same name, Movie Mania Nick. And remember, like they say in every other movie, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes.